Welcome back to Zestful Kitchen. Today we're talking all about knives because there's really only 3 knives that you need to have in your kitchen. If you're thinking about buying a knife block, I would think again, because most of the knives that come in a knife block really aren't that helpful, and you really just need 3 knives to do almost everything in the kitchen. A chef's knife, a bread knife, and a paring knife. And we're gonna talk about all of them, but we're gonna start with the chef's knife. So many knives. When it comes to choosing a chef's knife, just know it's going to be the knife that you choose 9 times out of 10. It's going to do most of the work in the kitchen for you. So it's important to really choose a knife that feels good in your hand. So a chef's knife can come in 5-inch blades all the way up to a 10-inch blade. 10-inch I find to be really cumbersome and large, but if you're somebody that has a really big hand and want a big knife, you can do that. So a 5-inch blade is going to be something like this. It's very utilitarian. It's very easy to use. It almost feels kind of like an extension of your own hand. This is a 7-inch blade, and this is the thing I reach for the most. This is my favorite. It is so versatile. You can use it for everything from breaking down chicken to chopping onions, mincing garlic, chopping herbs. That's true for all of these, but I prefer something right in the middle between a 5 and a 10-inch blade. It just is easy to work with. You're going to have knives from different parts of the world. They're going to be made differently. So the 2 knives on this side are 2 Japanese knives. And something to think about with Japanese knives is they tend to have a more round handle. I find that to be extremely comfortable. It tends to just have more rounded edges, so I don't get as many calluses. But again, this is all preference. And then there's German knives, which are very common. They're a little heavier in weight, and they tend to have more sharper edges. So the handle is a little bit more square. The top of the knife is even a little bit more sharp. It's not sanded down and rounded like most Japanese knives are. This is going to be more of the middle of the road. If you like something a little heavier, if you want something that's going to do a little bit more work because it is heavy, then I would check out a German knife. Then I have a French knife, which is not all that common, but that is another option. Also pretty sharp on top, but has a nice rounded handle. And then I have another Japanese knife that is my workhorse in the kitchen because it's cheap and it is very utilitarian. So you're going to have different types of knives from different areas of the world. The next thing you're going to want to consider is price of knife. Knives can span $65 all the way up to $500 plus. There are really great knives out there for $65 that if you just get sharpened regularly and you maintain and you take care of them, they'll work really well for you. So choose something in your budget. Just because it's more expensive doesn't mean it's going to change your life. So just find something that works for you. Lastly, when you're choosing a chef's knife, I think it's very important to go into the store and actually feel the knife in your hand. Feel how heavy it is. Feel if you like the rounded handles or if you like something more square, if you want something super light. It's important to really see how it feels in your hand because it is going to become an extension of your own arm. It's hard to order knives online. Once you find the type of knife you like, then it gets a little bit easier to order online. I know that almost any Japanese knife out there I'm going to like, but that's because I've tried all of these. So I really encourage you to go into a store and just feel them out. The next knife you need is a paring knife. And this is important for small tasks that require a lot of detail, like hulling a strawberry or peeling ginger or peeling a kiwi. So this is great for those small tasks. With a paring knife, you don't need to break the bank. It's utilitarian. It's something that you're just going to use to do small tasks very infrequently. So I wouldn't spend a ton of money. You can get some paring knives for, I think, like $18. Very affordable. What you need to remember is that it needs to be very comfortable and you need to be able to really basically use it like it's another appendage of your hand. You need to be able to get into a strawberry with a lot of control. So make sure it feels good in your hand. Make sure you're choking up on the knife itself so you have a lot of control over it. So the third knife you need is a bread knife. And this is obviously important for slicing bread, but it's also great for chopping things like chocolate because the teeth of the knife actually cut into the chocolate a little bit easier than a chef's knife so that it doesn't go flying everywhere, which is really nice. It's great for pastries like coffee cake or croissants, even if you're like cutting up pastries for a big breakfast board. Good for large melons or pineapple. And then some people also like to use it for roasted meat to have the skin on because it slices through the skin really nicely. So there's a ton of uses, but obviously the most important one is bread. You're not going to be using this probably even daily. So don't spend a lot of money on it. And you're going to very rarely need to sharpen it. And when you do sharpen it, I would recommend getting it professionally sharpened because of the serrated edge on the knife. If you're putting together your own set of knives, I would really recommend getting some kitchen shears, which would traditionally be in a knife block. So if you're not going that route, make sure you get kitchen shears. I have 2 sets and I prefer the plastic handled kitchen shears because sometimes if you're cutting through something very hard, these metal handled scissors are very brutal. These are very sharp and wonderful. I love them, but plastic is great because they're more comfortable. Kitchen shears are going to be used for everything from cutting through tendons if you're breaking down a chicken or a turkey, to snipping herbs. I use it to cut tomatoes in a can of whole peeled tomatoes. They're so versatile. You can use it to open packages, so many things. Definitely need a good set of kitchen shears, but be prepared to replace them occasionally. They're really hard to sharpen. You can get them professionally sharpened, but most aren't overly expensive. So I'd recommend replacing them almost every 2 years just to make sure that they're nice and sharp and useful in your kitchen. And there you go. The 3 knives and bonus set of kitchen shears that you need to do everything in the kitchen. You don't need to buy a knife block, just make your own set. Let me know which knife is your favorite or what you're going to be buying next. And I hope we meet you back here next week. I think I was supposed to say something else, but that's fine.